Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to our Football Manager 23 beta save with Manchester City. So, where have we been? Well, there's only been a few games since last time out, but we are at the last game of the season, right at the very end, and it is Leeds United who are rock bottom. They beat us in the final of the Carabao Cup to get to Europe, so we've got a bit of payback to do. Haaland's on 45 goals, absolutely smashing it this year, and it'll be interesting to see how that looks. But we've also got the kind of end of season review to take a look at for the first time, along with the career path thing that they've done, which I haven't seen yet. So we've got a few new things about the game that we haven't had a look at yet, which will be good to see. But for now, let's take a quick look at the games just before this one that went down. So following our loss to Liverpool, we did take a 3-3 draw at Fulham. I was going to say at Man City. No, we are Man City. It was a Haaland hat-trick, once again, that got us the 3 goals we needed, getting one at the near post after they went ahead initially. They did make it 2-1, however, just before half-time, with Andreas Pereira smashing one in past the keeper there. And then in the second half, what did happen is they missed a penalty. So we got a little bit lucky in that sense. And then we went down in the 74th minute, the other end of the pitch. Walker finding Haaland, who just volleys it in past the keeper there at the edge of the box. They did score very late on, though, and I thought that might have been it. They might have sealed the win there with a 3-2-1. Solomon being played through, and he was able to kind of curl it round Ederson to slot it in. But Haaland wasn't having any of it, and he decided, not today. A minute later, from almost directly from kickoff, De Bruyne was able to play it out wide to Grealish, who played a lovely ball through, and then Haaland, of course, slots that one away for 3-3. At this point, we also had a bit of a tiff with the squad. They weren't happy with kind of how things had gone, us not competing for the Champions League and all that sort, and the Premier League, of course, as well, not getting any cups either. So we did have a little bit of a tiff, and that led to a bit of a change in how we were playing, and it changed for the better. Initially, we went 1-0 down. Wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it was a lovely ball by Haaland around the corner to Sheldrup to make it 1-1. And then we took things by storm in the second half. It was 3 goals there to make it 4-1 overall. Haaland putting the pressure on from their kickoff and smashed that one away. Then we got a second not long after. Kyle Walker getting down the right-hand side, finding Cole Palmer, who was playing out on the right wing there. Walker's delivery, though, found Haaland. Johnston probably should have done a little better there, but Haaland did what he does best, and that's head it into the back of the net. And then finally, Grealish this time was able to get down the left-hand side. He found De Bruyne, back to Grealish, who initial effort went flying into the keeper and then into the back of the net. Then there was payback in the Manchester derby, where we did win 3-1. It was initially a goal by Haaland, an interesting header by Varane that came to Haaland, who'd headed it past the keeper. They then had a player sent off just before, which was Bruno Fernandes, just before Ronaldo got this header in on goal at the near post from a corner by Eriksen. But we retaliated well. After we had a goal disallowed, Jack Grealish was offside for 1 goal. His pass to Haaland found him well, and that made it 2-1. And then we wrapped things up not long after that as well. Foden bringing the ball down to De Bruyne, who played the ball over the top to Erling. And of course, as always, he does what he does best and popped it away. So there we have it. That is where we're at. The last couple of games, we've been very good against Palace and Man United. And hopefully we can continue that today against Leeds. The change of style we've had is we're going more control possession, and we've got Rodrigo playing as a halfback, so he drops into the centre-back role. Obviously, the wing-backs push right on, and then we've got our 2 inside forwards coming right inside. Mazzala, an advanced playmaker, ahead to do all the busybody work with the ball, creating those opportunities for both Haaland and the other 2 attackers. What we have also been trying to do is convert Yusufa Moukoko to an inside forward as well. The reason being is because he's not going to get in front of Haaland, is he? But I think he could be great on that right-hand side, cutting in on his left foot. He's got some great finishing. And to be fair, his long shots aren't amazing, but certainly will improve. He's only 18 at the end of the day, and he's left-footed. So it's kind of perfect. Sheldrup as well on the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot. Certainly another player that can deal some damage. And then obviously Haaland up top. I mean, we've got Mahrez and Grealish as well. Alvarez can play on either side. De Bruyne can play out there if you really need him to. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, who we've actually been playing slightly deeper in midfield next to Bellingham, being that kind of player to move around the area in behind the strikers. But that's what we'll be playing today. Hopefully we can get a nice win. Fingers crossed the board don't sack me at the end of the season when they realise we haven't won anything other than the Community Shield, which was the first game of the season. But the Leeds United thing might be interesting. I might, whether we do this or not, I might kind of force my way into the Leeds management setup and maybe see how things go, because that's an interesting little save there. If they're in Europe and they're fighting to get promoted back to the Prem, how it works with players. Are they willing to stay because of Europe? Can you bring in better players, or are you kind of still stuck with Championship? It'd be interesting. But we are facing off against them today, and that's our main priority. Foden's delivery in, Cock clears well. Rodri into Nets. Can Nets get a ball off? He finds Foden out wide, but Sinistera does cut that out actually quite well. Who it's cleared long, but Nets gets onto it again. Jude Bellingham back to Rodri, and he's going to take his time, play a lovely ball out wide to Walker. Can he get there? He does. He uses his pace well. Cuts it back to Phil Foden in the Mazzala role. He loses out as the ball's cleared. It looked like possible penalty. Clearly wasn't, as we continue the high pressure on them. Jude Bellingham's ball round the corner to Moukoko. That is a lovely, lovely goal. What a lovely pass by Jude Bellingham that was. Right round the corner to slot it in. And then Moukoko, I mean, plays very well and gets right to the byline, to be honest. Moukoko initially playing it to Ruben Diaz, who finds Bellingham. And then look at that. Through the gap. It was a pinpoint pass. And then Moukoko was able to tuck it past the keeper. Is that Meslier still in goal for them? It is. He's a very good keeper. They've got a good side, to be fair. So that's why it could be quite exciting to see how things go. Maybe Patrick Bamford needs a bit of a change. But they're in Europe somehow. And if they decided to perform as well as they have done near the end of the season, they'd be fine in the league. So it's a strange one. Laporte, though, looking out wide to Nets. He's going to come down here, find Shell Drop. Can he finish? As he's tackled by Gertruda, and it looks like it's a penalty. It was a good ball in by Nets to find him, and Shell Drop was able to get onto the ball and cause a bit of trouble in the box, leading to a possible penalty. Well, it's going to be reviewed by VAR, as it always is, and it has been rewarded. And we know who's got to be taking this one, surely. It is Erling, who will step up and look to tuck this one away for sure. Can he pop it in to make it 2-0? He certainly can. Of course, was there any doubt? To be fair, he has missed a penalty this season, but he did tuck away the rebound. 46th goal of the season for him today. Can we get him to 50? Do you reckon he can get 4 goals in today's game? Might as well play him the whole game. No point bringing him out to rest, because it is the last game of the season after all. 2-0 though. In the first 30 minutes, they haven't had a shot yet. I say that as soon as they get a highlight for themselves. Patrick Bamford receiving the ball from the throw-in. We've closed that down well. Rodri looking to bring it forward. It's brought down by Adams to Click, who looks out wide to Sosa on the overlap. Finds Bamford inside, and he finishes it. I mean, could I have said that at any worse of a time? That they haven't had a shot yet. First shot goes in. I thought that might have been offside with the initial ball. But maybe he must have been in line, or it must have been brought back to him. But it's a good ball out wide. No one's out there with him. And then no one's marking Bamford, who's in the middle. So, I mean, when that happens, I don't think that's anything to do with the formation or anything like that. I think that is genuinely just the players not wanting to play that ball. But that does certainly seem like the best way to score goals in this one that I've seen. Saying that, Gertrude's given away a penalty and has now been sent off for cutting in half Sheldrop, who's obviously got into his head. And I think that could almost sum up the game completely. I can't imagine anything else is going to happen now when it comes to the match. I mean, let's just get into the second half. We can make changes in the second half when it needs to be. But it is our free kick from just inside from the corner. Nets to take it. Can he find anyone? Looks to the back post. Sheldrop with the free header. Should have gone in. Mezier does well to save it, but it was a free header, and that should have been a goal. But we're looking good still. Walker bombing down the right-hand side. He looks inside. It's cleared. But Diaz should get there quite comfortably. Can he? He's wanting to get down to the byline now and see if he can get across in. Kyle Walker, though, receives it back. Diaz wins it again. Phil Foden, he takes a touch inside. Is he going to get a shot off, or is he going to look to lay it off? He has a shot, and it's a lovely finish. Diaz gets the assist from a little pass, but it was all Foden there, cutting inside, running across the box, and he was able to wrap his foot round it to put it into the bottom left-hand corner, and that makes it 3-1. There's no hope for Leeds now, is there? Surely not. As we hit the hour mark, maybe that's where we can make a few changes now with the team. Julian Alvarez, let's bring you up on the left-hand side, get you in the game. Riyad Mahrez, you can come on for Moukoko. Jude Bellingham coming off for De Bruyne, let's say. And then who can we bring? We'll bring Ake on in that halfback role in defensive midfield. So we've got one more sub if needed. We might save that just in case someone gets injured. There's no point doing anything silly, is there, when we don't need to. But Nets down the left-hand side, who's come in more and more into this season, performed better and better defensively and attacking, although that's an interesting cross, as Walker will pick up the pieces on this side after the clearance. Can he get a delivery into the box? He certainly does. Erling Haaland's there, and he's tucked it away once again. That is number 48. Only 2 more till 50. It could happen. It could certainly happen. But it is a lovely reaction by Walker to latch onto that clearance, as the Leeds player certainly didn't. And then Haaland does well. He's coming backwards. He's coming away from the goal and having to get a bit of power on it himself, but he does manage it, and it goes off the post and in with only 18 minutes to go. Nets with the close corner. Haaland, there's number 3. It's happening, people. Let's get one more, Erling. Come on, one more, and then I'll sub you off. So we just stay at a nice round 50 number, because I know you could score more than that, but we don't want to do that to people. But Nets with a lovely near post. Haaland wins the header. Of course he does. And it is 5-1. 15 minutes to go. Do we think he's going to do it? Will he be able to tuck another goal away to make it 50? I'll be honest, I don't think he will, just because that's how it works, isn't it? You want to go for that target, and he won't be able to make it. I mean, if he wasn't injured for half the season, he definitely would have done. But he's headed down. Alvarez, can he find someone? He looks for Haaland, who looks back to Nets, who plays, it's a 1-2, and Haaland's through. Can he finish? He does. That's number 50. 5-0 goals for the season for Haaland. What a beast. And maybe we found the way we want to play. It looks like this formation, this style of play has maybe worked best for us and is the way to go now with Nets. Oh, lovely ball round to Haaland. And it is number 50. Let's take him off then. And we'll bring on Cole Palmer. Alvarez can go out that side for him there. But I mean, he's still not off yet. So he could get 51 in this next highlight. Nathan Ake playing back to Laporte. He plays inside the room. And Diaz, can he look to move it, shift it out wide? He certainly does. There's loads of space. They're down to 10 men. Foden looking to cut it across. Oh, he's got. I think he's gone for it himself there. A little bit greedy, but in the end, nothing needed to be done really. But 4 goals for Haaland today. Is that a surprise? Probably not for anyone. But there you go. That is the end of the game today. It's a hell of a performance. I'm just hoping that the board do give me another season, because I think I might have just managed to get an idea as how I want to play. A thumping achievement. I guess that's maybe win a game by more than 5 goals. Well, we're not sacked, which is good. It means that we're going to be here next season. So that's good. We might end up doing a little save with Leeds as well then. Just see what it might be like to have them in Europe and the Championship. But Moukoko, close to triggering clause. We've got Erling Haaland, worshipped by fans, of course. 4 goals in that one. We've been given 34 million. Oh, and the budget came out. £295 million. I don't think I've ever had that much money before. So that's going to be fun. We'll see what we can spend that on. Antonio Smajo, one of our academy players, going off to the Under-20 World Cup. He looks okay. It's not bad. I can't imagine we getting any game time anytime soon because of the monster we've got in the team. But there you go. So 6-1. We will now jump. I mean, I don't know how soon we'll get to see it, but we'll get straight into the kind of end of season review and what the timeline thing is that they've got going on as it goes. And yeah, so we'll jump in and see what it's like. Here we are then, the season review. Unfortunately, only one trophy there this year. Next year's going to be different. I can feel it in my bones. But a few Silings certainly have joined the club. 4 being from Borussia Dortmund, which I didn't even realise. Yeah, Erling Haaland obviously joined. 49 goals in 33 appearances. Ridiculous. You see from Mukoko not doing too badly. 8 in 14. Paying over the odds. It won't be. Give him a few more years and it certainly won't be. Nets, I think, was a very good signing from the Bundesliga. He played a lot of games for us in the end, 33, same as Haaland. So that was very good. Again, Jude Bellingham, going to be an incredible player. Sheldrop, another one, 7.5 million, I think it was a bargain. A Kanji coming in, obviously, before we joined. Same with Calvin Phillips, Gomez, and Stefan Ortega. I might look to bring in another backup goalkeeper because the guys we've got aren't incredible. But with that said, we have got a few players here that went out. Generally, no one really of note, I don't think, that you wouldn't be aware of in real life, like Jesus, Zinchenko, Sterling, and loans out as well, of course. There was a few loans, which we'll be able to take a look at when we bring them back for the start of the next season. In the league, wasn't perfect, by no means. We ended up in 3rd place, just beating Arsenal to that one, below United and Liverpool. But I think next season we can certainly do bits. Champions League was disappointing. Losing to Atletico Madrid in the group stage was poor. And also the loss against Barcelona weren't good. I'm glad I didn't show you them, to be quite honest. The loss to Fulham, fuming, absolutely livid about that in the FA Cup. And then losing to Leeds United in the final of the Carabao Cup, who we just beat 6-1. Why couldn't we do that in that game? But there you go. And then 3-0 winner against Liverpool in the Community Shield. Great start to the season, but couldn't keep it going. Biggest win was our last game of the season, so that's hopefully good for the next season. Match to remember was the 5-1 against Tottenham, where 5 different players scored in that game, which was good. And then Bellingham got the goal of the season against Sporting. Finances, of course, money, because it's Man City. Of course, there's loads of money involved. Haaland being the most shirts sold, as you'd probably expect. De Bruyne, Foden, Bellingham, and Bernardo Silva also being up there. How we lined up? Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Grealish won't be in there long, though, I don't think. I think Sheldrop will be slotting right in there. You've got Bellingham, De Bruyne, Rodrigo there. Stones, Ruben Diaz, Walker, Nets. Yeah, makes perfect sense. 49 goals in 33. Just madness. Look at that, man. Beautiful. With that, most overall goals by a player in a season is Haaland. Most league goals by a player in a season, Haaland. Most goals by a player in a match, Haaland. Most goals by a player in a league match, Haaland. Most assists by a player in a season, Jack Grealish. That is a surprise. I didn't realise how influential he was. So maybe that changes my mind about what I said about the best 11. Haaland gets most player of the match awards, of course. And Jude Bellingham's got the worst discipline, 16 yellow cards. Christ, that's like every other game. Fans player of the season, Haaland. Young player of the season, Haaland. Signing of the season, Nets. Goal of the season, Jude Bellingham, as we saw. Top goal scorer, of course, Jack Grealish was assists. Haaland with player of the match. His average rating. And Diaz with most passes. Competition awards, English player, top division scorer, Erling Haaland. English players, young player of the year, Erling Haaland. And then in the next gen, young player of the year was Jude Bellingham. So looking good when it comes to the youth side of things. And yeah, I mean, we won the Community Shield. Would have been nice to see a bit more. But this is the dynamic manager view thing. So interesting. What have we got? We got the Pebble was hired by Man City as new manager. Future star, highly rated youngster Joe Joe Bellingham joined Man City. He did. That is very true. That is a thing that happened. From Birmingham, highly rated youngster Jude Bellingham signs. Yep, that also happened. Investing in potential. We signed Yusufa Mukoko. Yep. Highly rated youngster Luca Nets signed. Yep. Won the Community Shield. Yep. Okay. Cool. Investing in potential again. Yeah. Northland. Okay. Then we go eye for the future. Next young player to inevitably have huge expectations thrust upon themselves was Bellingham, who picked up their next gen. Yeah. Okay. And then Erling Haaland scored 49 times to break the club record goals in a season on that had stood since 1928-29. Then Erling Haaland's 39 goals for him become Premier League Division top goal scorer. And then thanks for your help, Erling Haaland. Thanks to Pebble for the role he played in him winning the English Young Player of the Season award. Well, that's very nice. Is that it? Not to be rude, but that's a bit shit. Like, that's a headline feature, apparently. Anyway, we'll be going into the next season then. Yeah, not much to say. What we can see, though, is how things have happened. We've lost social media followers. Interesting. Fair weather fans have decreased, which is always quite nice. Family fans and core fans have increased. So there you go. That's a little bit of an interesting one. Finish above Man United in the league, which unfortunately we didn't do. Sign high reputation players, which we kind of did. Didn't win the Prem. Played possession and played entertaining. I think we matched that. And that will be certainly stuff we'll be able to do this year for sure. Of course, not ideal, but I'll accept all current visions to make sure that they stay happy with me. Don't want to argue the toss with that. We're going to come back pre-season, same level of ambition and win the league. That's exactly the sort of reaction. I just want to win everything. That's it. Cheer them all up a little bit before we go. But there you go. We'll just flicking through these, see if there's anything of note. Team of the year, Liverpool and Man United players, other than Haaland, of course, who got that one. James Trafford got League 1 award winner for Golden Glove and League 2 Golden Glove. What? That must be a bug. Because he can't have done both. Can he? No. They probably just got relegated, didn't they? Did they get relegated? No. They didn't get relegated. That is very confusing. Okay. Well, there you go. He got League... Am I blind? No, yeah. League 1 and League 2. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing that I don't know about. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you're interested in the Leeds save as well. It'll be in probably next to the Man City save. So we'll kind of double up on them. So you get another series as well added to that, just because it might be a bit interesting to see how that works. But with that, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.